I don't want to give anything away, or should I?
Well,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a scene. This is a story about two men who are good friends, and and there's a secret that rests between them that needs to be brought to light if they're going to move on. And the character, whose name is the Machine, who this guy plays, he is the guy who comes into their world and demands that this secret is brought to the surface. And a big moment in the film where you start to realise what the nature of this secret is when Davin, who is the best man in the film, who's played by Andrew Scott, when Davin is asked at the campfire when everybody is singing to sing his own song. And Davin sings a traditional Irish song called Raglan Road, which is a song based on a poem by an Irish poet called Patrick Kavanagh, who's a beautiful poet. And Davin sings this song, and in the course of singing the song, what he feels and how he has been hurt starts to become clear to the audience. So for me, that's the key scene in the film.
yeah, that's the most cinematic moment in the film, because at the end of that scene, the tension of the film, you realise it has to be resolved. You realise that that's what the film's really about. So you gotta, and because it's not done with words, it's done with music, and it's done with how people are looking at each other and how everyone's kind of interpreting, and the change in temperature, and also it's quite a long moment in relation to everything else in terms of the pace of the film. So suddenly the film just changes a gear and it kind of becomes something else. And you can, whenever you watch it with the audience, that's what we always hoped. They go, oh, okay, right, okay, and it drags them somewhere else, and that's when the film actually changes, and you realise that that's what the film's really about.
I'm going for the opening scene from Fat City.
Oh right,
It's just off the top of my head. Fat City is playing in this festival. It's from 1972. Chris Christopherson's song plays at the beginning. A song with Rita Coolidge, "Help Me Make It Through the Night." Stacey Keach wakes up in a hotel room. He looks for a light on a cigarette, and he can't find one. And he gets up out of bed and he walks down onto the street. And it's a single shot that tracks him all the way down the steps, and then it comes out and he walks out onto the street, and the camera comes back and reveals that it's this kind of working class town in California. But there's so much story contained in those 2 minutes. It's the opening credits of the film, but the storytelling is going on at every moment throughout it. And 2 minutes into the film, you're already completely connected to the character and to the tone of the film and the feeling of it. So off the top of my head, that's it. There's a million other ones, but I like that one. Okay.
Okay, off the top of my head, I'm going to pick a film by Sidney Lumet called The Verdict. It's not his best film, but there's a scene in it where it's about Paul Newman. He's an alcoholic lawyer, and he's been given an easy case. He just has to represent the people, and it'll get settled out of court. And a woman has been put in a vegetative state because of a mistake an anaesthetist has made in childbirth, and he goes to take Polaroids of this woman as evidence. And it's only when he's taking the Polaroids of the woman does he realise that he should defend her rights. But in the scene, you never see the woman. You only start to see the Polaroid image appear on the Polaroids, but it doesn't appear fully. But you never see her in the actual scene or the image. You just see his reactions to her and his conscience being pricked. And it's pure cinema because it's just an actor's reaction, what's happening in the story, and what you're kind of hoping he will find in himself. And you realise at the end of that scene, even though he hasn't said anything, all he does is just stop taking pictures. And you realise, oh, he's going to represent her. He's going to take it to court.
I'd like to see. I've never filmed a dance sequence of any sort, like a highly choreographed dance sequence. So I'd like to do something like that. And I love dance sequences in films that have sets for backgrounds that are clearly artificial, and I think there's something magical about it. There's no concession to the real world, and it's kind of fantastic. So I'd like to shoot the men of the Stag wearing their IV and their socks, doing some kind of very intricate dance move. Maybe to Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Could be organised. Could be organised very easily. We're pretty cheap. I would like to do a scene where it really brings across what it's like to be on stage as an actor. I don't think that's really... It has been done quite well, but I don't think it's really been captured. Also, where you have to do that over and over again as an actor, and that experience, because that's what people are quite fascinated by theatre actors. They know that they have to do it tomorrow night and the night after, the repetition of it. Yeah. And I would like to be able to shoot that scene so that the audience understand that. It probably wouldn't be just one scene, but to get that across and to shoot it in a theatre, I would quite like to do that.